Did you find it out?
Yes.
Yeah. That really has to be. Probably a lot, right? Yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. Today is Friday. Let's not try to turn it into a Monday. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. Whether you're at your house, whether you are at the Bexar County Jail, you are in a courtroom and you must behave accordingly. If you do not behave accordingly, you will be required to appear in court. The other thing, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't pretend to be one, but I do know that face masks do not work if you're using them as chin straps, Mr. Jimenez. You need to pull your face mask on and keep it over your nose. You're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting other people around you. Just one moment, everyone. Right, to all the inmates at the Bexar County Jail, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back to your cell. You're not allowed to use this as a chance to pick up dates. This is not the Bachelorette, it's not the Bachelor. If you try to pick up dates while you're on this screen, you will be sent back to your cell. To all of the accused persons who are out and about at your home, and to attorneys as well, you're not allowed to Zoom and drive. You can't text and drive. You definitely should not be Zooming and driving. Please find a stationary place, because if you are moving around, your signal is, in technical terms, gets shaky. And also it makes the court reporter nauseous. It makes me nauseous because you're moving up and down. To all the attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, put it in the chat box to Ferguson. She's our court coordinator. She's listed on the screen as Ferguson coordinator. Also, if you want to leave the courtroom to go Zoom somewhere else, you're more than welcome to Zoom somewhere else. However, if you're Zooming somewhere else and your name is called, you will be put to the end of the line. To attorneys, do not text the court coordinator, do not email her asking if your case can be reset. I'm the only person who can give you a reset. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. When I open up the breakout rooms, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you. To all defendants, you're going to hear your attorney's name called. Your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name called, do not be concerned. They're probably Zooming in another courtroom. You will get a chance to see them today. When I invite your attorney to a breakout room, your attorney is going to a breakout room with the prosecutor. You will have another chance to go to a breakout room with your attorney when they request you there. Does everyone understand the rules? All right, I'm going to call the attorneys' names. This is the order in which you will appear. Ron Ross, James Milan, Jocelyn Andrews, Ling Han, Orlando Castagnon, Ivan Friedman, Jonathan Chavez, Rusty Geyer, Kirk Sherman, Martin Guerrera, Joanne Eckel, Todd McCrae, Efron Torres, Ed Cano. Is there any defense attorney's name that I have missed? All right, attorneys, when I call your name, please give me the name of your client so I can put their name when I rename you, and also let me know whether it's family violence or trial division. When you go to a breakout room, consider that like going to the doctor's office. You think you're seeing the doctor, but they're just checking your blood pressure and weight. The prosecutors have the ability to see who's in a breakout room, and they have the ability to move throughout the breakout room. If you leave the breakout room to let me know that a prosecutor hasn't seen you in the breakout room, when they look to that room, they are going to see that that room is empty, and they're going to skip over you and go to the next person. So the first person up is Ron Ross.
Yeah, I have David Thatcher, Trial Division. Last time I talked to Jordan Brown, ADA Jordan Brown, if he's available.
Mr. Brown is no longer with us.
Okay, I guess.
And I don't mean that in a, he's departed from this earth. He's moved to another courtroom.
Okay, I understand.
All right.
Well, then
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay.
James Milan.
Good morning, Judge. I've got Andre Monjares. It's trial division, and we were speaking with Tom Nisbet, and also Orlando Castagnoni has a co-defendant, and he wanted to be in on it as well.
Okay. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
And Orlando, I'll send you to number 3. Jocelyn Andrews.
Morning, Judge. I have Jahagan Alexander, family violence. Last time I conferred with David Martin, but he was the only prosecutor that day. I think everybody else was out. So I conferred with David as well as Joe Ray. So it really doesn't matter to me who I confer with.
Okay. I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lynn Hahn.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here this morning for John Bueno. The last time I spoke, it was with Mr. Morris while he was still with the Public Integrity Unit. I think it's Oscar Salinas and Jordan Brown who are still on the case, though.
All right, is this some sort of special crimes or something, or no?
It's an online solicitation, and we're here for like a discovery sort of compliance, not compliance per se.
Could one of the prosecutors have Oscar Salinas zoom in? I'm going to send him an invite.
Yes,
But if
Judge.
so, thank you. Ms. Hahn, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5, but if you just remain in the main room so I can see when Mr. Salinas comes in.
Okay.
Judge, I think I did send Oscar the invite.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hahn, when you see Oscar Salinas zoom in, just interrupt me so I can send you all to a breakout room, and it'll be breakout room number 5. I'm going to assign you to 5, but you don't have to go there right now. We'll wait for him to zoom in.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ivan Friedman.
Hi, Judge. My client's in the courtroom. We already had a plea done on him, but we had some immigration issues, and I'm going to ask if you could please appoint him a Spanish-speaking attorney. He's got some past immigration hearings that need to be reviewed.
What is your client's name?
Jose De Leon Rodriguez.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's another one of those online solicitation cases, so I'm not sure. I was working with Jordan before, I think. But.
All right, I'm going to assign you to breakout room number 6.
Okay.
But remain in this room until we get the person here for you.
Okay, thank you.
And you said Jose De Leon?
Right, Rodriguez. It's a hyphenated last
Jose
name.
De Leon Rodriguez or Rodriguez De Leon?
I'm not sure. One second.
Okay, I see it. It's De Leon Rodriguez.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Judge.
Here comes Mr. Salinas now. Just give me one moment.
Thank you, Judge.
Oscar Salinas,
Hi, Judge.
hi. Are you on both cases? The one with Lynn Hahn is John Bueno, and the one with Ivan Friedman is Jose De Leon Rodriguez.
So I'm first chair on the Ivan Friedman one. With John Bueno, I was helping Hunter out, but I can answer any questions or help Ms.
Oh,
Hahn.
so is Hunter the prosecutor on John Bueno?
He was, but now that he's out of our division, it would be Jordan Brown. But I could help Ms. Hahn if she's got any issues.
All right, so you have two then people, Ms. Hahn and Mr. Friedman. Do you want them in the same breakout room, or you want me to separate them in different breakout rooms?
The same one's fine, Judge.
All right, so then Lynn Hahn, if you'll go to breakout room number 5, and Ivan, if you'll go to number 5, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Judge.
Jonathan and Oscar, you have the ability to go to the breakout room.
Okay, great.
All right. Jonathan Chavez.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Matthew Velasquez who's on, and it's a CTD case. Jordan Brown was the prosecutor, but I'm not sure who it would be now.
All right, and Matthew, what's the last name?
Velasquez.
I'll send you to breakout room number 6. Rusty Geyer. Oops, sorry, you're muted.
There we go. Thank you. James Madrone, it's a general trial. And I believe he's logged on.
Yes, he's here. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
Kurt Sherman.
I'm present, Your Honor. I'm Michael Moreno.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Judge, I believe it's the trial division. He has a number of cases and it may be both.
All right, let me look. Just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am. Is it Jonathan Watkins is on one of them? I'm told.
All right, does anyone see Mr. Moreno on the docket?
Recall docket.
Thank you.
And I'm showing that Jonathan Watkins is hired on all of his cases.
All right, then, Mr. Sherman.
Yes, ma'am.
Jonathan Watkins is hired on all of his cases.
Yes, ma'am. Then with that being the case, then my excuse.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Norman, can you see if you can get Mr. Watkins here, please? All right, the next person up
He said he wasn't unable to be here today, Judge.
All right, I'm going to take care of that in a moment. Martin Guerra.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm present for it's Jesus Edward Guitron, and that's a family violence case.
I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
Joanne Eckel.
Good morning, Judge. I have Jesus Gonzalez. We have already worked out a plea for this case to be dismissed when he pleads on a misdemeanor case, and I'm trying to set up that plea for next week.
All right, which court is this out? Which court is the plea out of?
County Court 5.
Judge, I sent you an email.
right, and when, Ms. Echo, when next week will the plea be completed?
We're trying to do it Thursday or Friday.
Okay, I note on the docketing, my docketing sheet that we were here on April 8th. And on April 8th, it was recalled for today because he was to plea in misdemeanor court. So I'm going to give one last reset, and then after that, I'll put you on the trial docket. And so it will be coming back on, if it's not pled by that day when you come back, then it'll be put on the trial docket for June 3rd. Norma, she's saying that her client is going to plead next week, Friday. Can you set this for Monday, May 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you on May 10th. And if the case is completed, then I'll have the dismissal and you won't have to appear.
All right, Judge, may my client and I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge Boyd.
Just one moment. Todd McRae.
Good morning, Your Honor. It's Wilson Jimenez. That's with Tom Nisbet.
I'll send you to breakout room number 9. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Efron Torres.
Good morning, Judge. I've already informed Hunter Morris about a plea this morning.
All right, thank you. Who is your client?
Alfredo Alejandro, Judge. He is on his way here to my office.
Okay.
Thank you.
And did you put in the chat box to the coordinator what the agreement is?
I emailed her yesterday, Judge, but I can do that again.
All right, thank you. If you can put it in the chat box. Just one moment. Ed Cano.
Good morning, Judge. How are you? Happy Friday, by the way.
Oh yeah, happy Friday. Who do you have?
I've got Devin Soto. Today is his plea deadline, Judge.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family law?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's criminal trial.
I'll send you to breakout room number 11.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Fernando Trevino. Fernando Trevino.
Judge.
Yes, who do you have?
Nicholas Rios.
Family violence or criminal trial division?
I think it's family violence.
I'll send you to breakout room number 12.
Thank you. And good morning.
Good morning. Gary Churak.
Ma'am, I've got Adrian Gonzalez, or Adrian. Yeah, Garcia.
Family violence or criminal trial division?
Family violence.
And you said Adrian Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send you to breakout room number 13.
All right, thank you.
George Schaefer?
Present, Your Honor.
Yes, who do you have?
I believe I have Henry Lopez.
Family violence or criminal trial division?
It will be, it's an aggravated assault and an arson, so it'll be criminal trial, I believe.
I'll send you to breakout room number 14.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sharon Thorne?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is that recall on Ricky Ford. This is the continuation of his sentencing that you wanted the Mick Myaff evaluation done, Your Honor.
All right, let's see. We'll see if we have that.
Okay.
I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send you to breakout room number 15.
Okay.
And probation, if you could go to 15. Jerry Kagan?
I'm here, Judge.
Yes, who do you have?
Santiago Briones, and you should have all the paperwork for a plea.
You said Santiago Briones?
Yes.
Is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
And is your client in custody or on bond?
He's at the bottom of the screen. He's on bond.
All right. Mr. Briones, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you signed all the paperwork?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 1. The clerks will meet you there and let you know if they have all their paperwork.
Okay, thank you.
And to the clerk, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please. All right, anyone back from the breakout room?
Judge, that would be me, Rusty
Yes.
Geyer,
Yes.
James Madden. I've conferred with Ms. Williamson. I have an offer. I am out of town and returning Sunday, so I will meet with him soon after return.
Mr. Geyer? Mr. Geyer?
Yes.
I require that you give the offer to the client while the client is on screen. So let me send him to your breakout room. If you'll go back to breakout room number 7, please. 7, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Mondron, go to breakout room number 7. Michael Marino, you need to unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Just 1 second. Mr. Geyer, if you'll go to the bottom of your screen, you'll see where it says breakout room. Just click on that and you'll see where you can go back to 7.
Where?
All right, Mr. Geyer, this is what I'm going to do.
Oh, are you feeling better? I remember you were out.
Mr. Geyer, I'm going to breakout room.
Thank you. If not, Judge, may I just call him and talk with him?
Let me send you to number 18.
Fine, here it is.
All right, Mr. Marino.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, where are you?
I'm at home.
No, you're in the 187 District Court. Why are you laying in bed?
I told him that I was on Zoom.
No, you are laying in bed while you're in court. In what world would it be appropriate for you to lay in bed while you're in court?
Sorry about that, ma'am.
No, that's not my question. My question is, in what world would it be appropriate for you to be laying in bed while you're in court?
In no world, ma'am.
So why are you doing it?
I'm sorry, I didn't know that we had to be sitting down appropriately.
Well, in what world do you think it's appropriate to lay in bed while you're in court?
In no world, ma'am.
If you are not professional on this screen, I will require you to appear in court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And last time I checked, I don't think they'll let you bring a king-size bed into a courtroom. You understand? Unless it's an exhibit.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor. Martin Guerra.
All right, I'm going to take up Jonathan Chavez, then Martin Guerra, then Fernando Trevino. Yes, Jonathan.
Yes, I got back from conferring with Marcus on Matthew Velasquez in the CTD case. We're still waiting, Your Honor, on the blood results just from the standing blood discovery order. It's been about a month and a half now. I think the lab told Jordan Brown that it would be back around this time at the last setting. So I'm thinking it should be soon.
Do we have an actual date? Does anybody know an actual date when the blood draw will be back?
Judge.
Yes.
Good morning. Hello. This is Matthew Velasquez, the Intox case.
Yes.
I sent that to Sergio Ibarra because I didn't have Mr. Chavez's email a while back. I think let me check my email, see when that was.
That one can go back.
Late March, Judge, I sent an email. I also left a disc up front. So the email has a link to it. Mr. Chavez, if you want to send me your email, I'll forward it to you. It's got an electronic link, but I also put everything on a disc and left it on the fourth floor. So you can pick that up if the electronic link doesn't work for you.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. So I believe we do have the blood discovery, Your Honor. If I can get a short reset so I can review that.
Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, ma'am.
On Mr. Matthew Velasquez, can you recall that in 2 weeks? Is that enough time for you, Mr. Chavez?
I believe so, Your Honor.
On the 14th, Judge.
All right, we'll come back on May 14th. You and your client are excused.
And Jordan, I'll put my email in the chat box for you.
Thank you.
Martin Guerra?
Your Honor, if I may go into a breakout room with my client, Jesus Edward Gutierrez. I was in room number 8, I believe.
Thank you. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond and I see him on screen.
And how is he listed on the screen?
Edward Gutierrez.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez, if you'll go to breakout room number 8, please. Fernando Trevino?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. Nicholas Rios?
Yes. Let's go ahead and put them on the trial docket. I got to get some videos to the state that may resolve the case.
Then if it's going to resolve the case, we're not going to put it on the trial docket. So you're saying this will resolve everything?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, Norma, can you recall Nicholas Rios in 2 weeks, please?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. Hold on, Judge.
And did you receive all the discovery?
I have.
The 12th, May 12th.
Wait. I think I'm on vacation May 12th. I'm good May 12th. I'm good May 12th.
All right, we'll see you and your client on May 12th at 9 a.m.
We'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
When you get a chance, Gary Chiric here, can I confer with my client? I believe he's in custody.
What is your client's name, Mr. Garcia?
Adrian Garza.
Is it Adrian Garza or Garcia?
Who? Garcia. I'm sorry. It's Friday.
All right, Adrian Garcia, could you raise your hand for me, please? All right, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 13.
And Judge, I'm back. I'm David Thatcher. I've got an offer. I need to talk to my client. He should be on Zoom. He's on bond.
Okay, just one moment. Mr. Thatcher, how are you listed on the screen? David Thatcher.
Not there.
All right, just give me a moment, everyone. We're going to take up this plea on Santiago Briones. And Mr. Ross, if you can see if you can get your client to zoom in.
I am good.
Are the parties ready on
Your Honor,
Santiago Briones?
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you please put me in a breakout room with my client before you go?
Yes.
Jerhagen Alexander,
Is your client in custody or on bond?
custody, Your Honor.
Norma, can you see if they can get Mr. Alexander on the screen, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as soon as your client arrives, I'll put him in the breakout room. Who are the attorneys on Briones?
Jerry Kagan on behalf of Mr. Briones.
Tom Nisbet for the state.
Mr. Kagan, all we see is what I'm assuming is your forehead.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, we need to see the rest of you.
I try not to. Let me rearrange myself here. How's that?
Thank you. The court is calling 2021 CR 2303, State of Texas versus Santiago Briones. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the
Jerry
defense?
Kagan on behalf of Mr. Briones.
Mr. Briones, I need you to unmute, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Briones?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, ma'am.
None.
Oh,
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Briones, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendants Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Kagan, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor. I certainly have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Briones, I'm showing you the document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We will waive it.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury. It's a Class A misdemeanor.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Briones, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment for that offense is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
I understand, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
I understand.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
But what's that? I'm sorry.
Did you intend to enter into a plea bargain agreement and give up those rights?
I don't understand. Like,
All right, do you understand you have a right to a jury trial?
yes, I do understand. And I don't want to.
Understand that you're entering a plea bargain agreement and you're giving up that right.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right or your attorney has the right to cross-examine or confront any witnesses the state would call?
I understand.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up that right?
Yes, I understand.
Did you intend to give up that right and enter into a plea bargain agreement?
I understand.
No, my question is, did you intend to give up that right and enter into a plea bargain agreement?
I understand that there was a plea bargain. Yes, I do understand.
Listen to my question. Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand you have a right to jury trial?
Yes, I do understand.
Do you understand you have a right for your attorney or yourself to question or confront any witnesses that the state would call?
Yes, I understand.
Did you understand you have a right to remain silent?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand you were giving up those rights?
Yes, I understand.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Yes or no?
No.
Judge, if you can re-ask that question. Mr. Briones is a first timer, so.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Briones, take a deep breath.
I'm sorry. Nervous.
No, take another deep breath. This is what I want you to do.
Okay.
Put on both of your listening ears.
Okay, ma'am.
I want you to listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
I want you to internalize it. And then I want you to answer the question that I'm asking of you, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So I'm going to take it step by step with you.
Okay.
Do you understand that you have a right to take this case to a jury trial?
Yes, I do understand that.
Do you understand that you're here today entering a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand by entering that plea bargain agreement, you're giving up your right to a jury trial?
Yes, I understand.
And did you want to do that?
No, I do not want to go to trial.
Do you want to give up your rights and not go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand as a part of a jury trial or a bench trial, you have a right to have your attorney or yourself question any witnesses the state would call?
Yes, I do understand that.
Do you understand because you're entering a plea bargain agreement, you're giving up that right?
Yes, I do understand that.
And did you intend to do that?
To give my rights, yes.
Did you understand you have a right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you're giving up that right?
Yes, I do.
And did you intend to do that?
Yes.
Did you intend to give, thank you. All right, off the record. Mr. Alexander, if you go to breakout room number 4, and Ms. Andrews, if you go to 4, please. Mr. Briones, did you understand if I were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, I could sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes, I understand.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He most certainly has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes to both.
Mr. Briones, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury. There's a $1,500 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution, if any, to Eric Gonzalez, and that's Gonzalez with a Z. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service, restitution, no contact with Eric Gonzalez, and anger management. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, I understand.
Then to the offense of assault as a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Briones, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, I understand.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, I understand, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation and testimony. The court will accept into evidence states Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Nothing, Judge, other than what the court already knows, which is Mr. Briones has never been through this before, so he's a little bit nervous and a little bit unsure and unclear on the questions because he's never heard them before. But with that, we would ask the court to follow the plea bargain.
All right. And based upon what you said, do you believe your client has understood everything that has happened in this proceeding?
He has, and I reviewed this all with him a day or two ago, but of course, people's memories fade.
All right, Mr. Briones, have you understood everything that has been said to you today?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, Mr. Briones, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Soon to be supervisor for Laxim Provision.
All right. How often do you drink alcohol?
Once in a while.
I mean, once in a while, but I've read the police report, so.
Well, I mean, that day I went out, but like once a week, maybe.
You're not allowed to drink alcohol while you're on deferred adjudication. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Even in your own home?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
If you're tested today for drugs, what will the results be?
But I don't know, to be honest.
All right, so let's start with what it could be, all right? And I'm asking you these questions. You're not getting into any trouble with me, but I'm trying to figure out what are the best conditions for you. So what may it be?
Okay, maybe marijuana.
And what else?
Probably alcohol.
And what else?
That's about it, probably.
Well, you throw in the probably. What else could it probably be?
Just weed, I mean, marijuana and alcohol.
All right, I'm gonna have you do a UA today. So you're still saying that's all, it may come back, nothing else?
That, I mean, that's about it.
Well, see, you throw some extra things in there where you're saying probably just weed and alcohol. Here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to set conditions for you so you can be successful. If
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
not honest with me about your drug use, then you're going to end up testing positive for something else. And I'm going to think you were dishonest with me.
I understand.
They're there, but you're going to be out there and you're not going to have the appropriate conditions so you can be successful. And when you come back to me and the probation officer will let me know what your drug test is, they're going to let me know today. And if it's something different, we're going to have issues. So that's why I always tell everybody, I'm putting you on probation.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
not going to jail. So you might as well be completely honest.
Okay, well, last week I did some white, so I mean, I don't know if that'll be in there.
All right. So we have white, marijuana, alcohol. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Okay. See, why is it like pulling teeth? with
I
you?
don't know. I'm nervous. You make me nervous. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So we'll cancel the UA for today, but I'm going to put you in outpatient treatment with probation. You had better, if you need help with drugs and alcohol, you need to let probation know. Because if you don't let them know, you're going to come back here on a motion to revoke.
Oh, I don't want
Every
that.
decision you make today, you need to start thinking, is this something that can result in me going to jail for a year? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. 2 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine, that will be probated. Restitution, if any, to Eric, ERIC, Gonzalez, anger management, 80 hours of community service restitution, proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is you're not allowed to have employment as a home health care provider or in any situation where you're supervising minors. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There is going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I put in person in there because sometimes people's Zoom don't work. So there will be no excuses. Either you do it by Zoom or in person.
Okay, ma'am.
Do you have any children that live with you?
No, ma'am.
Do you
I pay
have
for-
any children?
Yes, I pay child support, so yes.
And how many children do you have?
2.
What are their ages?
14 and 10.
All right. Do you see them
Yes.
on a regular basis? Are you allowed to babysit them, be alone with them?
Just see them.
Okay. And they're going to be random UAs
Okay.
or patch.
Okay.
And what that means is the patch costs more, but you can either do random UAs. Random UAs sometimes interferes with person's employment. You can get the patch or random UAs. But Rebecca, let them know to drug test him first before they put a patch on him. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
Were you gonna do field visits?
Yes. I'll do field visits 2 times per month, random.
And did you say the anger management and the no contact order?
I did say anger management, but let me add the no contact order with Eric Gonzalez. So you're not to have any contact with Eric Gonzalez. It appears that you all don't know each other, so there should be no reason for you to contact him. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
All right, Mr. Briannas, is there anything else that you need from me so that you can be successful on this deferred adjudication?
I understand everything you said, ma'am.
All right, do you need anything else from me?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I understand.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, Mr. Briannas, remember what I said? Every decision you make from here on out, you need to always ask the question, is this a decision that could potentially result in me going to the Bexar County Jail for 1 year? You understand?
Yes, I understand. So today there's gonna be a UA.
Probation will speak to you. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation and they'll go over conditions with you, okay?
Okay,
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
Let me see
Your-
if you were on a different screen. All right. All right, I'll send you to 10. Probation will meet you in 10. Mr. Kagan, you can go to breakout room number 10, or if you want to leave, you are excused.
I'll go to the breakout room, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Maurer, are you here
Yeah.
for a reason?
Judge, I thought I had Andre Hernandez on the docket this morning. I'm actually in court in Bernie, but I wanted to check in and see if I could recall for Monday, but my office may have messed up. I thought I was set this morning.
Excuse me, Judge, can you make me a co-host so I can go to the breakout room? I had to restart my computer.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me see if Mr.
Judge,
Hernandez. Just
Can you
one
get me in a
second.
breakout room
Who do you need to be in a breakout room with?
with Mr. Jimenez?
All right,
please?
is your client in custody?
He is.
All right, if you'll go back to breakout room number 9, Mr. Jimenez, if you go to 9.
Andre Hernandez was set for today, Judge. He's on the recall docket.
All right, this is for discovery compliant, Mr. Maurer. Do you have all the discovery on Mr. Hernandez?
I think we were looking for a video, Judge, but I don't have my file. I'm in court in Bernie, and I just walked out to my car so I could check in with the court. Can we recall for Monday so I can get my file and check?
Okay, Norma, can
This
you
is my
recall?
first live court, so I'm kind of taken aback being out in the world.
Judge, I can answer the question. It's one
Yes.
where I was supposed to get video from Leon Valley.
Oh, that's
I
correct.
called them a few times. They never answered, or they never returned my call. So I actually went out there yesterday. I spoke to someone in person and he said he would have it for me on Monday. So if we could recall it for later in the week, just to make sure.
Could we do next Friday, Judge?
Just one second. Norma, are you able to recall this for the 10th?
The 10th, let's see. Is that yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll come back on May 10th. And Marcus Sanders driving out to Bernie to grab the
Look at
video.
that. That's why he gets the big bucks.
All right. We'll see you May 10th.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I need to see my client, David Thatcher, if he's zoomed in. He should have. We've got an offer. I need to talk to him about it.
All right, Mr. Thatcher, are you here? David Thatcher.
Well, I talked to him. I just talked to him about 20 minutes ago and said, get on right now. So
All right, we'll see where he is. Just give us a moment.
And Judge, I had to leave to go to the 226 and I returned. I was in a breakout room with Mr. Milan waiting for Tom.
All right, that is breakout room number 3.
Judge, I'm ready to report. Rusty Geyer.
Yes. Yes.
I conferred with my client, James Madrone. I reviewed the offer with him and he rejected it, and we'd like to go on the trial schedule, trial docket.
All right, just one moment. Who are you conferring with?
I conferred with Ms. Williamson.
All right, Norma, can you give us And Norma, it's James Madrone. Mr. Geyer, you and your client will be back on the 27th. May 27th.
Sorry, I was muted. May 27th. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You and your client are excused.
Excuse me, Judge.
Just a moment, please. No problem. Everyone, just give me one moment. All right, anyone back?
Your Honor, Gary Chirac here on Adrian Garcia.
Yes.
Talked to him, got an offer from the state. He has rejected the offer. He also has an MTR.
All right, then we'll go forward with our state. Are you ready on Mr. Garcia to proceed with the motion to revoke?
Give me a second to look at it, Judge, and I'll.
All right, thank
let
you.
know.
Judge, I'm waiting for my client, David Thatcher. Can I be excused to go to 437th? I'll come back. I also have another matter in your court at 11 o'clock.
Yes, you may.
Thanks.
Can I get a breakout room with my client, James Lidgy?
All right, just one moment. And Mr. Ross, yes, you may go to another courtroom.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
And Judge, this is Ling
One sec,
Han. I'm
just one
back from
second.
breakout.
All right, Mr. Nitz, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 15. And Mr. Lidgy, if you'll go to 15, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Han.
Yes, Judge. I've spoken with Mr. Brown and Mr. Salinas. They have received the, or I guess they did complete the phone dump, and they're just trying to get it to look over everything. And I think they're supposed to offer a more firm offer at that time after they've been able to go through everything again.
All right, when will this be done? Because it is 2020, this case has been pending since 2020, it's 2021 now.
Yes, Judge. My understanding is that the extraction was successfully completed by the Secret Service. I don't have it yet. I've emailed the detective today to ask if she has it. And the only thing is, based on the nature of the case, I am going to need to look through it before I turn it over. But as soon as I get it, I can get that process started. So I think a few weeks, if you can give us that, maybe as much as a month, and then we'll have a final offer and be able to turn that over to the defense, hopefully.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I get a 30-day reset on John Bueno, please?
The 28th, Judge.
All right, we'll come back on May 28th.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right.
Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great morning.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Judge Ed
Your Honor.
Piker.
Just one second. Dre Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am. I was wondering, am I done for the day? Because Robert Maurer already had left.
Yes, you're done.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too. Did you receive your date?
No, ma'am.
You're coming back on May 10th.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a wonderful weekend again.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Excuse me, Your Honor, Ms. Boyd.
Just one moment. All right, Jocelyn Andrews and then Ed Piker.
Your Honor, I have conveyed the offer to my client. He has declined the offer. So, and would like his day in court. So, Your Honor, we need a trial date.
Mr. Alexander, where are you?
I'm right here, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Alexander, my understanding you're requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Andrews, have you received all the discovery?
I think we're still waiting on some 911 tapes, Judge, but I've received most of the discovery. They were still having some trouble finding 911 tapes.
All right, who is the prosecutor on this case?
Joe Ray was who I conferred with today, Your Honor.
Norma, recall this for Wednesday.
Judge, I can answer it. I made contact with them. That they've been purged. They don't exist.
All right, he's saying they no longer exist, Ms. Andrews.
Okay, Your Honor, then we just need a trial date.
All right, State, I'm gonna need the acknowledgement of discovery. And
Yes,
that
sir.
needs to be to me by May 7th. And Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
Jury trials are starting up. This court's jury trial date is June 3rd. So you're down for June 3rd for jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to be dressed for trial. All right, Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Alexander can go back? And I'll
Yes,
note
ma'am.
that your, Mr. Alexander, I'll note that your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea agreements. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, L5 can go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ed Piker.
Yeah, morning, Judge. This is a recall from Monday. We had a motion to revoke on Brandon de Hoyos, and you wanted me to follow up to make sure he had his TAP evals because he's still in custody.
Yes, he's actually supposed to be considered for felony drug court.
Yes, ma'am. I already got accepted yesterday.
Okay, all right. Thank you, felony drug court.
I like the program. I can't wait to start it.
All right, just one moment. Let me see where Rebecca is. Rebecca, are you here?
Yes, I am. So,
All right.
so Mr. De Hoyos, he had to be rescreened, but he, because the first time he wasn't honest, but they did get him and they will accept him, but the acceptance will not be until next Thursday, which is May 6th.
All right, so this is what's going to happen, Mr. De Hoyos. I don't know why you were not up front immediately with drug court, but you're going to remain in custody, and felony drug court, they will release you next week, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Will they release me that day?
Yes, they, I believe their courts are on Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
But
fine
we-
with that. That's my fault.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Norma, let's just put him on the docket for Friday of next week to make sure that he is in felony drug court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna recall it May 7th. Mr. Piker, if your client is already in felony drug court, if you could check on that on Thursday, that they physically have him in the program and released him, then we can drop this setting.
All right, Judge, so just so you know, I'll be calling in probably from somewhere. I have a vacation letter starting Thursday, so
Oh,
I'll
no
be,
problem.
I'll do what I can.
All right, thank you. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
help.
Thank you,
Take
Mr.
care.
Piker.
You're welcome, buddy. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, Norma, can you let them know L14 can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good
And
day, Ms.
Mr.
Boyd.
Have a good day to you too. And Mr. De Hoyos, you need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
be honest with drug court. They can't help you if you're being deceitful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else back and ready?
Judge, I'm back. Mr. Leggy was set on this this docket so that pre-trial could get documents signed that they weren't able to sign through the jail. It appears that they haven't showed up, and I'm not able to get a hold of them. I don't
Just
know.
1 second. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can you have somebody from pretrial services zoom in?
Who do I need?
Her name is, I believe it's Adelia Borosa Barrera, is his case manager for the pretrial. And I think you told me you'd send her a link to this meeting as
All
well.
right, she'll get in. If you'll just put in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson. John Foley, who do you have?
Sorry, Judge. I've got Jessica Briones.
What is happening with this case?
That we were waiting on a report from my pathologist that I'm going to provide to the state. At which point they are going to be looking at reducing the offense. The court had recalled it for today and asked me if I thought the report would be done by today. I did think so, but after conferring with my pathologist today, he told me that he will have it ready. He's going to try to have it ready over the weekend.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. Are you working with Mr. Martin on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm assuming what it sounds like to me, and I'm not putting any pressure on anyone, is that this case will work out based upon what your pathologist says. Is that correct?
I mean, I hope so, Judge.
All right, so David, if I recall this for May 7th or May 10th, will that give you enough time to look over whatever you need to look over in this case, or do you need more time than that?
See, May 7th.
And it's to look over what the defense wants to give you.
Right. If we could do the 14th, that would be better. That would be at least an extra few days to try and.
We'll have to push it to the 17th because the judge who will be here on that date is Judge Hearn.
Oh, that's right.
Norma, on Briones, are you able to set this the week of May 17th?
Give me just a second, Judge. Let's see.
Thank you.
In the
You
second.
said the 17th, Judge?
Yes, the week of the 17th.
Yes, ma'am.
What day?
Can do the 19th.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you on the 19th. Ms. Briones, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No. You're welcome.
And Judge, on Adrian Garcia, I believe.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me write this down.
Okay.
Must have like somewhere right here last night.
All right, yes.
We can go through the MTR and I guess see what happens. If they want to contest it, then we'll just need to come back another day. But
All right, is it going to be a contested motion to revoke, Mr. Chirac?
Yeah, no, ma'am.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Garcia then, I need a consent to plea on the motion to revoke.
Okay.
All right, Ivan Freeman, and then George Schaefer.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Salinas. He doesn't have any objection to my client getting a new attorney. We had all the plea paperwork executed, but I really think it'd be helpful for him to get a Spanish-speaking attorney to deal with his immigration issues.
All right. Just one moment. Mr. Schaefer, can I see you in a breakout room quickly, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I could see you in breakout room number 1. Let me find out which breakout room you were in.
I had been in 14, I think.
All right, I'm sending you to breakout room number 1.
I'll be there.
And Ms. Ferguson, can you go to number 1 with me, please?
Yes, Judge, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 2 at once here. I was waiting to talk to Travis. I thought Rodriguez. I'm sorry. So now I may be confused. I was waiting to see the prosecutor. Which case, Richard, which case is it? Make sure I'm okay. That's right, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. I have been trading messages with Travis, so I thought it was a different last name, but you know. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Judge. Sorry about that. Okay, appreciate it. Okay.
Did James Madron answer the docket?
He was on here earlier, Pat. I don't know if he still is.
Thank you. I was in the 290th. James Madron, do you hear me?
Pat, he's hired an attorney.
Oh, nobody tells me these things. I got the Zoom invite. Here I am. Okay. Thank you so much, Alex.
Can you talk to Norma actually and make sure that that you're off? Because it's still showing in the system that it's you, but I talked to his hired attorney.
Who was that?
Can you speak with Norma just to make sure? Because you're
Oh,
still.
I was just curious, who was the hired attorney?
It was Rusty.
I saw Rusty. All right. I think
Thank
he's
you.
still at 290. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, Jose De Leon Rodriguez, where are you? Deputy Mejia?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, could you have Jose De Leon Rodriguez come forward, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez? George Schaefer, you want to help me out here?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you're a Spanish speaker. My Spanish just is like adios, salud, gracia, and como esta. I even mispronounced Cinco de Mayo. So
Mi español no me permite hablar con usted. Por eso te va a nombrar un abogado que habla español, soy yo, y necesito que nos contactemos, ¿ok?
Okay.
So Deputy Mejia, if you can send him to a breakout room, and George, if you can let him know his new court date is going to be May 5th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and courtroom, if you can go to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll make sure that your client gets a reset form and then he can be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Glenn Payne, I know we have your client. Just give me one moment.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Oscar Salinas, what is the other case you have? I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, can you hear me now, Judge?
Yes.
Okay.
I will document that.
So De Leon and Bueno.
Okay, Mr. De Leon, Ivan Friedman told me that you didn't have any objections to a new attorney.
Right.
So the new attorney on De Leon is going to be George Schaefer.
Awesome.
Okay, and then the other one that you had?
Oh, and just on De Leon, just for clarification, he's already pled, so I guess it would just be for the immigration purposes.
Yes, he's already pled, and it really wasn't the immigration issues. The attorney just does not want to represent him because he's not fluent in Spanish.
Oh, okay. Great.
Right, but the plea has already been done on that, and that's an offer of community supervision. And who else did you have?
Mr. Bueno.
And on Bueno, I discussed that with Jordan.
Yep.
And let me see what date I gave on that one.
I'll go ahead and do that right now.
John Henry Bueno is being recalled for May 28th. So that
Awesome.
the phone dump can be collected and completed.
Great. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
All right, then if you have nothing else with us, you're excused.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Judge. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Judge, I'm sorry, I had to bounce over to 379, but I'm back.
Who's your client?
Mr. Ford, I've conferred with the probation officer and she is back. She had to log off and then log back on. And so we need to approach you about what her findings were on the Mick Myoff eval.
Okay, just give me one second with that, and I'll take that up right after this. Mr. Payne,
Yes, Your Honor.
your client is in the courtroom, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your client's name?
Edward Ford.
And on this one, there was supposed to be a witness, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right, awesome. Who is the prosecutor on Edward Ford?
Joe Ray, Judge.
So this is a case where the state was silent, and so I wanted more information. We're going to continue, just one moment. And courtroom, are you available?
Judge, we're still in a breakout room.
Just give us one moment then. All right, as soon as they finish with the breakout room, we'll go with you, Mr. Payne. Yes,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Alexander?
Yes, I spoke with Ed Cano on Devin Soto. I believe he would like a trial date.
Yes, Judge, this is Ed Cano.
Devin Soto, where are you?
Right here.
All right, Mr. Soto, you wish to go to a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll give you a jury trial when you show up for a court. This is just my personal fashion recommendation. Don't show up in a t-shirt. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, can we recall Mr. Soto for May 27th to make sure that they have everything that they need? And then at that time, I will give you your trial date. And everyone, when I set you for trial, it is going on that date. Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Soto, is it possible to recall him for the week of May 23rd?
Yes. He needs to come back. May 27th.
All right, we'll see you back on May 27th. On May 27th, I'm going to give you your trial date. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after today. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you on
Yeah.
May 27th.
Judge Boyd, would that be at 9 o'clock or will we get a later notification as to?
It'll be at 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You and your client are excused.
Okay, have a good.
All right. And on Sharon, on Mr. Ford.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that Ricky Ford?
Ricky Darnell Ford.
All right, do you all need to see me in the breakout room?
That'd be
Or
great.
do we-
That'd be great.
All right, everyone, just give me a moment.
Can I get put into a breakout room with Henry Lopez, please?
Okay. Is your client in custody?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 to meet with your attorney. Sharon Thorne, if you'll go to breakout room number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
And probation, if you could meet us in 2, everyone. Put some patience in your pocket. I will be right back.
Judge, before you go, may I be excused? I was here just to facilitate a meeting between my client and pretrial services. If they don't show up, I'll try to set another hearing a day later.
They're on their way. Just give them just a few minutes.
Oh, they are? Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Ms. Montemayor, give me just a moment.
Yes. Okay.
Hello. Rondy Ross.
Yeah, is this David?
I'm right here. It's David Thatcher.
We have to wait until they put us into a room, okay? Hang loose, they gotta put us into a room, okay?
I can move you to a room.
Right now, everybody can hear you, okay? So we have to go to a private virtual. So just hang loose, okay?
Do you need a room with your client?
I do, please.
Okay, I'll move you both to.
All right,
Ford.
Mr. Ford, Ricky Ford, where are you? All right, Mr. Ford, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney and with probation. You should be released today, okay?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand, and I also, there
Mr.
was
Ford,
a motion
I
filed
understand.
about 9 months ago
Now,
for, court
but you need
changes
to
for
make
days.
sure
Know what it was
that you
about. I didn't being ready to
address
terminate
everything
it.
with your doctors,
It happened
okay?
so long ago in January. They
Yes,
talked to
ma'am.
me like 2 weeks ago.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Yeah, it's been
Yes, ma'am.
succeeded that already. That's the law.
All right, Munharis, the case with Orlando Castagnon and James Million, what is happening with that?
I think Tom wanted to speak with you about that. I think he's asking for a regular reset.
Yeah, yes, Judge, we need a regular reset. So without being, I'm going to be overbroad here since we're live on YouTube.
Well, let's do this. Let's go in a breakout room very quickly.
Okay.
Before you go to a breakout room, can you move the pretrial officer with the inmate to a breakout room, please? She's here.
All right, what is the pretrial officer's name listed as?
Cassandra Montoya?
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Who is the inmate?
Where is he at? Give me 1 second, Judge.
He's in 15.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 15. And Mr. Nitz, if you'll go to 15, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And Tom Nesbitt, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, and James and Orlando go to 3. And Ms. Ferguson, if you can meet me in breakout room number 3, please. Everyone, I will be back. Remember, we are live, so put some patience in your pocket.
Lazarus Chapman.
All right, just one moment. Andre Manjares and Jose Manjares, you're excused. Your attorneys will give you your next court date, and you need to make sure that you are here on time. And
Yes,
that will
ma'am.
be
Thank you.
9 a.m. And your attorneys will give you that. So both of you are excused.
Okay, thank you so much, man. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
May I
Everyone,
approach?
just give me one moment, please.
Your Honor.
Just one moment, please. All right. The parties on Edward Ford.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And is the witness here? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Courtroom, are you ready?
You're gonna be the witness?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to step back, because you have to share the same screen. You could step back. Sorry.
All right. The court is calling 2019 CR 5345, State of Texas versus Edward Ford. If I can have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Gregory Garcia.
for the defense.
Glenn Payne for the defense.
Right. This is a continuation of the hearing on sentencing. We're proceeding by video again because of the pandemic. The defendant is in the courtroom. This is one of the, sorry, let me mute you. Okay. This is not one of the days the court is allowed to have in-person hearings. However, the court has received permission to have an in-person sentencing today. The court wanted information from the complaining witness because it appears from everything that the court has read in the stipulations and also in the PSI, there are some concerns about the defendant having contact with the complainant. Are there witnesses to be presented from either side? Defense?
Your Honor, we're going to call Ms. Frances Ford on behalf of Mr. Edward Ford.
All right, Ms. Ford, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly?
If I may, Judge, before you call my witness, are you going to allow the state to call witnesses, or are you going to question
The state
complaint?
has their witness here.
The state was supposed to remain silent on the case. I mean,
Judge, but if I may, we are remaining silent per agreement. But if defense and or court want to inquire, we have no objections.
All right, the court wanted to hear from the complainant. If you all are a defense, if you don't want the court to hear from the complainant, and if you believe that that will violate your plea agreement that you entered with the state, then the court will not hear from the complainant.
yes, Your Honor, I can't keep her from making a victim impact statement, of course, after sentencing. But
So you're asking that the court not hear from the complainant?
correct.
Okay. All right, if just one moment. All right, you can call your witness.
We call Ms. Frances Ford.
All right, Ms. Ford, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Frances Renell
A
Ford.
little louder, please. Excuse me, a little louder.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Frances Renell Ford.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Honor. Ms. Ford, would you please tell the court your relationship to Edward?
He's my son.
Okay. And do you know where he currently resides?
At 4819 Pecan Grove.
Ma'am, a little louder and slower.
Oh, okay. 4819 Pecan Grove, apartment 367, San Antonio, Texas, 78222.
And who does he live with?
With me.
And how long has he resided there with you?
Ever since him and his wife divorced.
Okay. How long's that been approximately?
Over 2 years, approximately.
Now, you're aware of Edward here for sentencing today, and this case had to deal with violation of protective orders, correct?
Correct.
And you know that the protective order is against Lashonda Perkins, correct?
Correct.
And do you know Miss Lashonda Perkins?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know her?
I know her through my son, and she was my daughter-in-law, and I live with them.
Okay.
Well, before I moved into my own place.
Now, have you had any contact with Miss Lashonda Perkins?
I haven't had any contact with her, but over 2 years ago, she contacted me, telling me what a good mother-in-law I've been and all this and that.
Okay. Does she ever come by the apartment where you and your son live?
Yeah, she came by several times when they first, got into this here.
Okay. So you saying that, to paraphrase, you saying that she had come to the apartment during the time that there was a protective order?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was she, in your opinion, was she aware that Edward lived there with you?
Oh, yes, sir. She was bored. She come to see him, not.
Ma'am, a little louder.
I said she comes to see him, not me.
Okay. And she's not on the lease with you, correct?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, anything from the state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for coming to testify.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Defense, do you have anything else?
No further witness, Your Honor, just argument.
All right, court will hear argument.
Your Honor, to reiterate what I'd said earlier in the week, the dual diagnosis on, I'm sorry, the TAP evaluation recommends that there be a dual.
I'm sorry, counsel, repeat that. What evaluation?
The dual mental evaluation was recommended by the TAP evaluation if he were to be granted probation. He has suffered a head injury. He has had a couple of mental hospital visits. He is working. We put on testimony that Ms. Perkins does come to the apartment where he lives. We were upfront with the court on the fact that Ms. Perkins doesn't want him to have probation. During questioning by the court, Mr. Ford told you that he understands he's have to have no contact with her at all. We're going to ask the court to grant probation for Mr. Ford, allow him to do the dual mental probation and help him get the mental help that he needs.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. The court will deny the application. According to the plea bargain agreement, sentence to be assessed at a cap of 5. The state is silent. Defense?
Your Honor, if you're going to sentence Mr. Ford to prison, we would ask that you do the minimum in this case, and that he's shown up to court. He's always been to court. He's shown that he can follow the rules, and we're going to ask you to take that in consideration when making your sentencing.
All right. Court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, finding you guilty. There's to be no contact with Lashonda Ford. or Concord Health Care.
Excuse me, can you detach my last name with her? Her name's Perkins, I'm Ford.
What is written in the plea bargain paperwork is Lashonda Ford. So you're saying her last name is Perkins?
Yes,
There
ma'am.
has to be no contact with Lashonda Ford or Lashonda Perkins.
Yes, ma'am.
And no contact with Concord Healthcare. And the employment of Lashonda Ford or Perkins, Kenedi, Kenedi Brown, Trey Brown, and Ed Cody Elementary School, or any school attended by Kenedi Brown, Trey Brown, next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ford.
Thank you.
Your Honor, maybe placed to a breakout room with him briefly since he's there in the courtroom.
I think it will depend on courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to allow his attorney to speak with him?
Yes.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Mr. Payne, were you previously in a breakout room or no?
Not today.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
And Mr. Joe Ray Garcia, do you need to speak with the complainant in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly, she can be put in a breakout room, please.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3, Ms. Perkins.
Judge, on my guy, David Thatcher, we have a plea that we're going to accept.
Okay.
If I need Hunter Morris as the ADA, he needs to prepare his paperwork. I think I put into chat already to Norma, my client's email address.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
pretty-
anyone else? Raymond Bell?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on here on Christopher Elon. It's a recall from, I believe, Tuesday, Judge. It was on a request to set bonds on 2 cases and to determine the status of a 3rd case.
All right, and have you conferred with the state?
I did. I talked to Ms. Williamson. We have an agreed recommendation with regard to the bond motions on the 2 cases to give to the court.
All right, if you all will send that in an email to me, what your agreement is on the bond, and then I will attach that to the document that I have, and it will be placed in the system today.
Okay, Judge. And then the other thing you asked us to do was to check with status on a pending unindicted charge. And so Ms. Williamson had been in contact with the prosecutor on that matter. It's a family violence case, I think. I'm not entirely sure. In any event, they are going to go ahead and proceed with filing and indicting that case. So I don't know if you want to give us a regular reset for that process to happen, or if you want to give us another 2 weeks, it's whatever the court determines is best with these cases.
All right, I'll give you a 30-day reset on each of those cases. And the agreement for the bond, is that the agreement that's been made also on the endangering of a child case as well?
Yes, ma'am. We had an agreed recommendation to give you for the bond on the endangerment of the child and the theft, $2,500 to $30,000.
Okay, what is the agreement on the theft case?
We were going to recommend bond be set at $10,000, Judge.
All right, and that's agreed to by the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any conditions or no?
No.
And then on the endangerment of a child case,
That was going to be $15,000, Judge.
are there any conditions?
On that one, Judge, we would request no contact with the victim.
We have no opposition to that, Judge.
And who is the complainant? I'll see if I can find it in the indictments. If it's listed, sometimes it's listed, sometimes it's not.
I believe it's Caden Harris.
Okay.
Caden is spelled Kayden. And I believe his mother might, there's also a Tyshenia Johnson.
Okay, I, of course, do not know how to spell that.
Yes, it is P-Y-S.
Oh, wait a minute, you say P?
T as in tango.
Okay.
Y-S-H-E-N-I-A.
And the last name?
Johnson.
All right, is your client Mr. Elon? Can you
He's in
unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Elon,
Yes, ma'am.
the state has agreed to a bond on your case. It's $10,000 in 2020 CR 10445. And in 2020 CR 4630, it's 10,000, I'm sorry, it's 15,000. But there's to be no contact with Caden
Harris.
Caden Harris
Yes, ma'am.
or Tanisha Johnson. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do understand.
If you have contact with either of those parties,
What
you're
girl?
going to be back in the Bexar County jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. That would not be a problem, ma'am.
All right, and then Norma, can you give me a 30-day reset on Mr. Elam?
The 27th, Judge.
All right, we'll come back on May 27th on your cases.
And just for clarification, Ray, the new case is not a family violence.
Okay, good. I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure.
And Mr. Elam, you either
Yes.
need to be on Zoom or in the courtroom. It's the 187 District Courtroom. It's 300 De La Rosa. It's on the 4th floor. If you fail to appear, a warrant may be issued for you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate this.
You're welcome. I'll see you on May 27th.
Yes,
Norma,
ma'am.
can
Thank
you let them know that P31 can go back?
Yes, and Judge, is Todd McRae on Zoom still?
Just one second. Let me find him.
Don't leave, Leland, until I call.
Mr. Vale, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am. Talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Pat
Oh,
Montgomery.
he's not, Melania, P31 is done.
Pat Montgomery.
Hi, Judge. I spoke to Alexandra Williamson this morning. She told me that she believed that my client, James Madrone, had hired another lawyer. I've looked on the public database. I still show as his attorney of record, but he is no longer with our meeting here. So I'm guessing that his case was rescheduled with his new lawyer. I'm told it was Rusty Geyer. I happen to know that Rusty was in another court and I went to that Zoom meeting, but I couldn't get Rusty's attention. He was having technological difficulties.
Yes, but Rusty Geyer did show up today on his behalf, and he said that he had filed the notice just today.
Oh, that's fine, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get in trouble by not being here, you know?
Oh, nobody gets in trouble.
Judge, it looks like he only filed notice on 2 cases. The defendant has 3 cases.
So which case does Pat Montgomery remain on?
It looks like he's on the Berg case, the Berg of a habitation. Rusty filed on the 2. Failure to stop and render aid. So I need to ask him if he's on all 3 cases.
All right, so Pat, we're gonna find out if he's on all 3 cases, but if he's not, then your client's new court date is May 27th.
Yes, ma'am. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
All
Bye,
right, you
everybody.
too. Bye-bye. All right, yes, Jason Nitz.
I'm just asking to be excused. The pretrial services has come. They're working now to get the paperwork signed, and they will contact me if they have any more issues.
Okay, just one moment. All right, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge,
May I be
One
excused,
second.
Judge?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, George Schaefer.
yeah, Judge, if you could put me in a breakout room with Lazarus Chapman, I'd like to at least let him know that his case is going to be reset. Number 2?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and everyone, just give me 2 minutes. I just need to take some files to the clerks. Okay. I put Alfredo, Alejandro, and Efren Torres. If you can go back to breakout room number 1, the clerk will swear you in. Gary Churek on Adrian Garcia, what is happening?
I guess, I don't know, we're gonna go forward with the hearing on the MTR or not. I have no idea. I just.
All right,
signed-
did you speak with David Martin? Because David Martin said he's ready to go on the motion to revoke.
All right, well, we can go. My client says he's ready. Let me get back to my client so I can tell him to sign the certificate.
Okay. Let me find out where your client is. If you all would go to breakout room number 12, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Norma, if you can send them the consent to plea. Ted Wood.
Judge, it's been sent. Judge.
Yes. Ted, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Ms. Segovia.
All right. Is her case criminal trial division or family violence cases?
Judge, I believe it's criminal trial.
All right. I'm going to send you to a breakout room to speak with the state. I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Eddie Providence.
Well, obviously, she's not Priscilla, whatever.
Excuse me, since my attorney's gone, am I good to go?
Just give me one moment. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, he's good to go. I already called the jail.
All right. Eddie Providence.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Yes. Who do you have?
I have Paul Torres.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Judge, I'm sorry, I don't know. I know it's ag assault, deadly weapon, but I don't know if they did it as family violence or not.
Okay. Let me check and see. It doesn't tell me either. I think it's we'll say it's criminal trial division. If it's not, they'll send someone in. They'll send the appropriate prosecutor there. I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Thanks, Judge. And Judge, I'm sorry, I need to let you know I'm waiting with another court, so I may be bouncing back and forth. It's not meant disrespectfully.
Eddie, that is fine. It's Friday.
Well, I know, Judge, normally I'd have something to make you smile, but I just don't today. Sorry about that.
You are making me smile whenever you show up. So I appreciate it. I always appreciate the fact that you're very patient.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you. You made me feel good about myself. I probably don't deserve that, but thanks.
Yes, you do deserve it.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll take it.
All right. George Schaefer, and then I'm going to do, yes.
Yes, Judge. We need resets on both Lazarus Chapman and Henry Lopez. On Lopez, we're still getting discovery, and on Chapman, I just got appointed.
Okay, just one moment. On Chapman, what is the cause number?
I don't have it yet. Oh, wait a
Okay, what-
minute, I might.
Okay,
2021 CR 2282.
all right, let me just have the clerks grab that file. Everyone give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, apparently Chapman has 2 cases.
All right, just one moment.
Sí, mi vida. Sí, estoy en medio de un Zoom. Ok. Bye.
Okay, they're getting that documentation for me. And then you say on Henry Lopez, what is happening with Mr. Lopez?
There's still some discovery I'm trying to obtain from the state. I spoke with Marcus Sanders, and he asked me to bring him a hard drive so he can download it for me.
Okay, when do you anticipate on getting him the hard drive?
Today, hopefully, Judge.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Henry Lopez, can you give the 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am, the 28th.
All right, on that one, we'll come back on May 28th.
Yes, Your Honor. Can we do Chapman on the same day?
Yes, as soon as I get the file.
Okay.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Lopez, we're going to bring you back on May 28th. Your attorney needs some discovery from the state. In order for the state to give it to him, he needs to bring a hard drive for them because obviously it's a lot of material. So we're going to recall you on May 28th to make sure your attorney has all the information he needs.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can you let them know that 17I can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, can I have a breakout room? This is Tom. Can I have a breakout room with Ron Ross, please?
Ron Ross, if you'll go, where is Ron Ross? I don't see Ron Ross on the screen.
Or maybe he went to another court real quick.
Okay. All right, everyone, just be a little patient. Efron, I'm going to take you up next. Kimber Ward.
Yes, Your Honor. I have 2 people on your docket this morning. I have Enrique Gutierrez and also the individual from yesterday, Frank Garcia, was recalled because he didn't appear yesterday. I reached out to the number I have for him and I did not get a response.
All right, let's start with Enrique Gutierrez. Is that criminal trial division?
No, it's family violence.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And a prosecutor will meet you there. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. And then Ron Ross, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, Tom will meet you there. And then George Schaefer on Mr. Chapman. I'll set
Yes, Your
that for May 28th as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and you are excused unless you have someone else with us.
No, Judge, 3 on one day is enough.
What? Everybody loves coming to the 187. What are you talking about?
Like I said, it's Friday and 3 in one day is enough.
All right, see you on the 28th.
Just remember, Judge, about the bananas.
I will. And so
Thank you.
everybody will not think that he's saying anything rude to me. It's an inside joke between us. All right, see you then.
Have a good
Where's
weekend.
Mr. Chapman? Where's Mr. Chapman? Is he in a breakout room?
He was in number 2, I think.
Yes, he's in number 2.
Do you know what
And
scene
he,
he's in?
I'm sorry?
P2.
P2? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and he knows that he's going to get reset.
All right, we'll see you on May 28th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And then we're going to take up Mr. Alejandro for the plea.
He's present with me, Judge.
Okay, just give me one moment. All right, is the court reporter ready?
Yes, Judge, I'm ready.
Who's the prosecutor on this case?
Hunter Morris.
I am Judge.
Okay. Court is calling 2021 CR 1607, State of Texas versus Alfredo Morales Alejandro. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Efrain Torres Jr. for Mr. Alfredo Alejandro.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
None from the state.
None from the defense, Judge.
Mr. Alejandro, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendants Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you a document entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Alejandro, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Moving to waive count 1, proceeding on count 2, possession, Judge.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Alejandro, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand in count 2, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams. That is a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Alejandro, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There is a $1,500 fine. There is no application for deferred adjudication, and the state recommends community supervision. And there is $57 for the drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No motions, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and outpatient treatment with probation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State's to move to admit States 1 with attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Alejandro, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, Mr. Alejandro is an Army veteran, Judge. He's ready to take responsibility. We're confident that he can complete this probation for 3 years, Judge. And we ask that you please follow the agreement that the state and Mr. Alejandro have.
All right, Mr. Alejandro, are you employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you do?
I DJ, Your Honor.
Okay. If you're tested today, what are the results going to be?
Alcohol, because last night I drank me 2 beers with micheladas and because I was nervous for today. That's
All
it.
right. Here's the thing. Some people come to court and they always have their last hurrah before they come to court. Sometimes that's not a good thing. You understand?
Oh, I understand, Your Honor.
So are you going to be positive for anything else today? Because you will do a drug test today.
No, Your Honor, I don't do drugs.
Okay. All right. And what is this I'm reading about? A motorcycle gang? Is that a gang?
No, I was just a supporter. I can't ride. I had a motorcycle accident 3 years ago. I can't ride. I was just a supporter, man.
What does that mean? Are you like a cheerleader for them?
No, actually, like I just would like to wear their shirts.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do.
Okay.
Court is finding you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in prison, suspended and probated for 3 years, $1,500 fine. That will be probated. Restitution of $57 for drug testing. I'm going to start you off with AA meetings 3 times per week. We're going to see how that works before I place you in outpatient treatment. 100 hours community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank.
Yes, Your Honor.
There is to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. So if you don't know how to Zoom, you can report in person. There are going to be random UAs or the patch.
UAs, Your Honor.
No, it'll be completely, you can discuss that with probation. I give people a choice because sometimes people say that random UAs interferes with their work schedule. So random UAs or the patch. I'm going to want field visits 3 times per month, random.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proof of employment within 15 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is you cannot have any employment with minors. So that means you can't supervise any minors. You can't work at a daycare or anything of that nature.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you cannot be a home health care provider.
Okay, Your Honor.
Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Alejandro, is there anything else you need to be successful in this probation?
I'm okay with what you gave me, Your Honor.
You can't drink alcohol while you're on probation. You can't smoke marijuana. You understand?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Even at your house or on your job.
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to close the record. Mr. Alejandro, every decision you make while you're on this probation, you need to ask yourself, is the decision I'm making something that may result in me going to prison for 3 years? You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you keep that at the forefront of your mind, you'll do well on this probation. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Your Honor, may I ask a question before you do that?
Yes.
Did you say he can pay out his community service hours, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sending you to number 6. Probation will meet you there. And who are the parties on Wutron?
Judge, are you ready for me to go now, or do you want me to wait?
You can go now.
Okay.
Your Honor, Martin Guerra, attorney for Edward Guitron.
Okay, and where is Mr. Guitron?
He is online.
How's he listed?
It's under the name Edward Guitron.
Okay. Edward Guitron, we have your paperwork. If you'll go to breakout room number 1, they'll swear you in.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
I was going to ask if we can have this plea entered next week. My father has a health issue. I'd rather not go into all the details right now, but sure. I'm going to be scheduling a doctor's appointment for him, hopefully Monday, but may not be until Tuesday. I was hoping we could do something after that just to play it safe, or I can inform the court when I'll be available, if it, as soon as possible.
Okay, of course. Let's get him sworn in, and then you can be excused.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And you can actually be excused before he's sworn in. Mr. Guitron, if you'll go to the breakout room to be sworn in.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to call this for Friday of next week, Mr. Guerra?
That's fine by me, Your Honor.
All right, Norma on Jesus Guitron.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you recall this for Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, and you're excused.
Thank you.
So that'll be May 7th, Norma. All right, what are we doing with Mr. Garcia?
We're waiting. We're going to do a true plea and go to the court for sentencing.
Okay. Have you signed the paperwork? Because I don't
Yes.
have it.
We-
Did your
we
client
signed it,
sign?
Yes, yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Garcia,
Yes,
have you signed the paperwork?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just give me one moment.
Okay.
All right, who are the parties on Mr. Adrian Garcia?
David, Judge.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Judge,
Yes.
I just wanted to know, I wanted to let y'all know that I do have a new attorney. I haven't seen my attorney on there.
Well, just give us a moment. I said in the beginning, we'll make sure people will be here.
Okay.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2018 CR 9386W State of Texas versus Adrian Garcia Jr. Mr. Garcia, can you unmute yourself for me, please? Right.
Yes.
Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
David Martin.
for the defense?
Eric Chirek.
All right. And are you, thank you. And are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
None from the state.
None from the defendant, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, you signed a document entitled Defendants Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes,
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amended Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them?
yes,
Are you the same Adrian Garcia Jr. who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 9386W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram, on September 11, 2018 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
yes, ma'am.
State?
From the first amended motion, condition 1, on or about the 30th day of November 2019 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Adrian Garcia Jr. committed the offense of stealing, receiving stolen checks in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Condition 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Adrian Garcia Jr. did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of May 2019, June 2019, July 2019, August 2019, September 2019, October 2019, November 2019, December 2019, January 2020, February 2020, March 2020, April 2020, May 2020, June 2020, July 2020, August 2020, and September 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
We'll waive the other allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objections.
Mr. Garcia, did you understand by pleading true to violations of conditions 1 and 5, the court could find it true, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing this, do you still wish to plead true to violations of condition 1 and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 1 and 5 true. Is there an agreement?
I'm not sure if there's an agreement or not, but the state is asking the court to grant the motion, enter adjudication of guilt, and to impose a sentence in the state jail facility that will leave up to the court.
Yes, Judge, so there's really no agreement.
All right, defense, what are you asking for?
Judge, we're asking for the minimum 6 months. He's already been incarcerated for 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, waiting this hearing and trial.
All right, court's going to grant the motion. Court will find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you into 2 years in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
You do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, do you understand, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we're off the record. Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Garcia, in 2019 CR 9382, can you recall this in 30 days?
9382. Yes, ma'am. The 28th.
All right, we'll see you on May 28th for your other case, Mr. Garcia. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Be excused.
Yes.
My excuse, Judge?
Just wait there. The court coordinator will have them remove you. Norma, can you let them know that 16E can go back?
Thank you.
Judge, my attorney left. I want to know if I'm excused too.
Yes, you are, but you know your court date, correct?
Next Friday?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else ready?
Do you know if you reset Todd McCrae's client?
No,
Mr.
he
Jimenez?
has not been reset. Let me see. What is the last name?
Jimenez?
Just 1 second. No, it has not been reset. And Todd McCrae needs to come back in.
Judge, I'm here for a bond reduction on Gregory Morrison. And I think Tom might have sent you an email. I'll confer with Tom.
All right, let me check and see. Just give me a moment. Yes, he did send me an email. Just give me 1 second. Yes, he sent me the agreed motion. And it's the bond to be set at 150,000, full GPS and other conditions.
Yeah, we've agreed on the $150,000, Judge.
Okay.
The GPS, that's entirely up to you. That's his recommendation to you.
What is your client charged with?
Murder. It's a murder case.
Yes, there will be full GPS. I'll ask that they waive fees or place your client on the indigent list.
Your Honor, this is Eddie Bravanek. I wondered if you might be kind enough to put me in a breakout room with Paul Torres, please, my client.
What breakout room were you in?
I believe it was 5.
All right, Mr. Torres, if you could go to breakout room number 5, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, we're trying to do a plea on Hunter Morris. I mean on David Thatcher. I'm not sure ADA Hunter Morris got the word that we actually are accepting the plea bargain.
All right, just give me one moment. Norma, on Gregory Morrison, can you give this a recall date in 30 days, please?
Yes, the 27th.
All right, on that one, we'll come back on the 27th.
For what purpose?
That's your next court date.
Okay, that's a bond reduction. That will be the court date. Okay.
Yes, the bond reduction has been taken care of. That's already been
Okay.
signed. And on May 27th, just make sure that if there's some discovery issues that you are ready to let the court know about it.
I will do. I understand, Judge.
You're welcome.
And Judge, Ted Wood is waiting for a prosecutor in a breakout room.
All right, is there a prosecutor available to speak with Ted Wood in breakout room number 3 on Miss Segovia?
I can, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I'll try to handle stuff. You just put it on the email.
All right, Thomas Hilly, who do you have?
I apologize, Your Honor. I have Mr. Norman, it's the MTR, so I need to confer with the state, please.
What is your client's first name?
Oh, let me look. I'm sorry. Too much stuff going on today. Norman, Terrell Norman. 2018 7669W.
Does anyone know which case he's speaking of?
It's on the recall.
Norman Terrell. Okay.
Sorry.
Judge, may I have a word when you have a moment? This is Eduardo.
Sure, just one moment. All right, Thomas Hilly, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you, Your Honor. That part is being late. Too many Zooms today.
Yes. And Rebecca Reyes?
Yes, ma'am.
On Adrian Garcia. He pled true to 1 and 5 and was sentenced to 2 years in the state jail facility.
I'm sorry,
Bobby
how many
Gibbia.
years? 2 years?
Yes. Bobby Gibbia, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Mr. Lemire. He's in custody, 16F. His attorney of record is Joseph Holcher. Mr. Lemire is awaiting a competency disposition.
All right, just give me one moment. Michael Goins.
Yes, Your Honor. This is just a status on Mr. Leroy Torres.
All right, and
Judge-
but before you proceed, Mr. Goins, I want to let you know I appreciate your patience. I know that you've been waiting here for a while, so I appreciate that.
Oh, Judge, I'm sorry for being late because I was in court for.
No problem.
But Judge committed to set the plea for Mr. Torres for next Thursday at 9:30. And the agreement includes the TIC of the case before your court.
All right, and that's Mr. Torres?
Yes, Your Honor. Leroy Torres, since you have so many Torreses today.
Yes, I do.
And I already sent the note. I sent the note to Norma already, Your Honor.
Okay, so when is your plea set in number 4?
9:30 next Thursday.
Okay. So Norma, let's recall this on Friday, and then if it's done, Mr. Goins, it will be showed dismissed on our docket.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. May I excuse.
Yes. So Norma, if you can put Leroy Torres on May 7th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Torres, if you are here, you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Kimber Ward.
Yes, Judge. I need to go into a breakout room with Enrique Gutierrez to go over his PSI.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you.
And everyone, the courtroom is taking its break at 12. Eduardo. Jimenez.
Yes, Judge. Thank you for your patience. I'm in the 175th right now on my laptop, and then on my cell phone, I'm supposed to be in the 437th to go back in there. I was gonna respectfully request a reset for Fabian Valdez, whom I have today in your court, or if I could just consult with him briefly. But I don't know. I have a plea bargain, an MTR, 2 plea bargains and an MTR in the other 2 courts that I mentioned. The 437.
Norma, what page is Fabian Valdez on?
It's on Damien Valdez, Judge.
Damien.
Valdez,
All right. So he said Fabian. I was like, who's Fabian?
Yeah, Damien, I'm sorry.
He's on the PSI.
All right, this is a PSI. You can come back. We can take care of that right now. It's a PSI.
Sure. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you ready to proceed, or do you want to come back this afternoon?
Oh, well, good.
I'm ready to proceed.
Have you reviewed the PSI report?
I have. Yes.
All right, just give me one moment. Who is the just one second. Norma, can I see you in a breakout room? All right, state on Damian Valdez, do y'all have any witnesses here?
No, we don't.
All right, is Mr. Jimenez seems to be running here and there, and I want to make sure that he's able to focus 100% on this sentencing. I'm going to see if he can come back this afternoon. If he can't come back this afternoon, does anyone have any objections to the sentencing taking place on Monday instead?
No.
Okay. Mr. Valdez,
Yes, Your Honor.
your attorney is in, I don't know, he says 3 courts. I'm going to have this, Mr. Jimenez?
Yes, Judge. I was just wondering if I could just have a brief moment with the prosecutor before we move ahead.
No, Mr. Jimenez. I want to make sure that you're able to focus on this. So we can either come back this afternoon or we can come back on Monday on this case.
Yes, I agree with you, Judge. It's very hectic right now on my side. We can come back on Monday. Did you say Monday?
Yes.
Judge?
Yes.
Yes,
All
I would
right.
like, I would prefer to come back on Monday.
All right, so it's going to be Monday, and Mr. Jimenez, you need to be here at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Valdez, we're going to have you come back at 9 a.m. on Monday, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Norma, can you let them know that 16D can go back?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I messaged Ms. Curtis, but I don't see that she's connected yet.
Judge, when you have a second, can you send Ted Wood into a breakout room with his client, Ms. Segovia?
Yes.
We were in room 3.
All right, Mr. Wood, I'll send you to room number, you're in 3. Ms. Segovia, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
All right, anyone else? Bobby Gibbia?
Yes, Judge, as I indicated, Mr. Lemire, he's in custody. He has competency issues. I believe we're going to have it agreed in competency hearing soon. We
All right.
spoke with Sally Unkefers, who we conferred with already. Over in
All
the
right.
Mac Book.
Norma, on Lamire, can we recall this back for a competency update? And of course, Mr. Gebbia, you say you believe it's an agreed competency. Have you
Yeah, I
received?
believe it will be. I have emails back and forth with Sally. We've been talking about it. We're going to try and find a good resolution, see what we can do on this case for him.
All right. Have you already received the report that says
No,
he's
ma'am.
incompetent? Okay. All right, Norma, can you recall this back for an update on his competency report?
Do you know when that will be ready? Bobby,
I'm sorry, Norma, I can't speak for Dr. Scott or when he does what he does. Nor can I speak for Angela as to when she could get him in Judge Carruthers' court to even start the competency disposition process. But
All
I
right,
will look into it.
Norma, let's recall it for 3 weeks just to see where we are.
Okay. We can do the 21st.
All right, we'll come back on May 21st to see where we are.
Okay.
Mr. Lamar, you're going to come back on May 21st. So we can see where we are. All right, Norma, can you let them know 16F can go back? And Mr. Gebbia, if you don't have anyone else with us. Mr. Lamar?
I think I should go into a breakout room with him before we're excused, Your Honor, just to kind of give him
Yes.
an update what's going on.
All right, I'll see you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
Norma, can you have a deputy help Mr. Lamar? It appears that his audio is not working.
Yes, ma'am. He had been,
And who's the attorney for Deborah Lon? All right, to the courtroom, could I have you on the screen, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lon, your attorney hasn't shown up on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura, has he been in the courtroom?
Not the attorney, no.
All right, Ms. Lon, we're gonna have you come back at 2 p.m. and get in touch with your attorney and see if your attorney is on his way.
Yes, Ms. Lund? Yes? Okay, yes.
All right, thank you. Ron Ross?
I've signed some of the documents. I don't have the certification of appeal yet. I don't know where that comes from. I guess that comes
Okay,
from-
that comes from Ms. Ferguson.
Okay.
Let me,
I don't know about my client. I'll have to see if he's received the documents or not. I don't know.
okay, we'll find out if he's received it.
I just got them just a few minutes ago, so.
Okay. Michael Moreno, who's your attorney? You're muted, Mr. Moreno.
Watkins, who's on vacation, Judge, I think.
Okay. Mr. Watkins is, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Moreno, we're going to recall your case.
Okay.
Your attorney has a letter in that he is on, well, he's not available. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
All right, Norma, on Michael Moreno, could I get a reset date for this, please?
yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. I need to look up how long that notice is for, Judge. Give me 1 second.
All right, thank you.
Judge, Todd doesn't answer, so I don't know when he's coming back.
He will be
No,
back.
no, not you, Miss. I'm not talking to you, Mr. Moreno. I'm talking to the judge.
Sorry.
All right, just give me one moment on that, Norma.
On which case, Judge?
On Jimenez.
Yes.
So did you get our Do you want to go to breakout room real fast?
Yes, let me go to a breakout room with you. See if you can go to 8, Tom.
Okay.
Alexandra, are you on?
Yes.
Do you have any issue? He wants to think about it for a week. I think he's inclined to do not your initial offer, but the other thing we talked about, but he'd like a week. And I told him 1 week, no more. Would you have an issue if I asked the judge to reset us for 1 week and resolve it at that point?
Not at all.
Okay. And it's just, I mean, he was decent about it. It's just a lot to get his head around. So that's the reason.
Absolutely, I understand.
I'm guessing she's logged off right now. Is that fair?
She's in a breakout room.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Ed, I think you're muted.
Hey, Alexandra.
Yes.
Can you, are you willing to go to a breakout room with my girl and me?
Sure, you can go back to the one you're in. I'll join you there.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay.
How long is it?
Mr. Marino, we're going to come back on your case on May 6th
Okay, ma'am.
at 9 a.m. You're excused.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Thank you for your patience.
No problem. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too.
Your Honor, if I may have a minute with my client at the jail, please.
Mr. Terrell, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. He is in breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rebecca, I just sent you an email. It's just the title of the email is the question.
Your Honor, this is Eddie Brovanek.
Yes, just give me
one of your time.
Yeah, just give me one moment.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Yes, Eddie Brovanek.
Yes, Judge. So Alexandra and I talked about a resolution that would resolve all the cases.
Yes.
I proposed it to my client, and there are a lot of moving parts for him to consider. He asked for 1 week, and I told him, if I asked you for 1 week, this is not 1 month, 1 year, whatever. I mean, you need to say yes or no, or the offer is off the table. I do understand why he wants to think about it without getting into the details. Would you be kind enough to reset me for next Friday? Would that work for the court?
Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we recall Paul Zachary Torres for May 7th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Torres, we'll see you May 7th.
Judge, he's in the breakout room still. Should I go tell him to leave?
Yes. And have him come to the main room.
Okay, I'll figure out a way to do it.
All right, thank you.
If I may tell the state something like quick, I don't need to a breakout room if Mr. Hunter is there.
Mr. Hunter is here.
Mr. Hunter, we take the 6-month state jail, please.
All right,
All
everyone. You guys get your paperwork, but the court is taking a break at noon.
Perfect. I can eat. Thank you. Okay, send me the paperwork, Miss Norma and Mr. Hunter, and I will get on it.
Okay, Mr. Hia, I don't believe I have any for you since we're going on the MTR. So it'll just be for Miss Norma.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, if you guys have the paperwork right now, then we can do Mr. Norman. Norman, can you get the consent to plea and the trial court certification for Mr. Terrell Norman, please?
And I will be on it instantly.
Yes.
And Judge, I'm back from the breakout room and ready on Enrique Gutierrez if you have time to get that done before lunch.
What are we doing with Mr. Gutierrez?
It's a PSI setting, so it's a sentencing.
All right, is your client in custody?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
All right, could everyone make sure you're mute if you're not a part of this hearing? And Ted, what are we doing with Ms. Segovia?
It's an agreement, Judge, to deny and continue.
All right, then is she gonna enter a plea, or is it just gonna be alternate and amended?
Alternate amend.
Alternate amend, Judge.
All right, Ted Wood, can you have your client come back to the main room, please?
Yes, I can, Judge. We'll be there. Judge, just for just a 10 seconds, she's already started, just for the court's edification, she's already started the process at Center for Healthcare Services. So I'm asking, once you hear from her, that you consider just continuing her there instead of the DDRF program.
Okay.
But I'll let her talk to you. Thanks, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I'll be right back.
Norma, I sent you a chat about that.
Okay, and Mr. Enriquez, is your client, Mr. Enriquez, he's in custody, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, he is. Is his name Watkins Gutierrez?
Was he in a breakout room with you?
He was, but I thought he had come back because he's.
I'm right here.
Oh, here, there he is.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Who's the prosecutor for this?
It's David Martin.
Yeah, I'm here, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 7655, State of Texas versus Enrique Gutierrez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Kimball Ward.
And are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
And the court will note that the defendant's plea was entered on April 1st to count 2. He entered a plea of no contest, and that was done by Zoom. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty. However, the court had deferred finding of guilt as the defendant had applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years, and the state is remaining silent. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Are there any objections, additions, or deletions to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
State?
No.
All right, Ms. Ward, the state is remaining silent. I'll hear from you.
Yes, Your Honor, we just wanted you to hopefully give him an opportunity at probation. He has very minimal criminal history. He has just one misdemeanor case he was on probation for quite a long time ago. And outside of that, it's just the pending charges, which are all included in this agreement, I believe, except one. And that one will be dealt with by the misdemeanor court that it is in. And at this point, he wants to apologize for his actions, does not want to make excuses, and would like an opportunity to show the court that he can be productive and provide monetarily for his family by working.
All right. Mr. Gutierrez, is there anything you wish to say?
No, ma'am.
All right, the court will find the defendant guilty, not grant his application for deferred adjudication. Did you wish to speak to the cap, Ms. Ward?
Yes, Your Honor, we would just ask the court to provide as low a sentence as possible.
Counsel, could I ask you to speak up, speak a little slower?
Sorry.
Provide the defendant.
Provide the defendant with a lower amount of incarceration time so that he can get back to providing for his family as soon as possible, because he does have that desire to provide for his family and help his ex-wife with these children, at least monetarily.
All right. Court will sentence you to 7 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance, no contact with Madison Gutierrez and Lisa Gutierrez. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Not from the state.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Gutierrez, I'm showing you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Gutierrez. Norma, can you let them know that 16C can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Segovia?
Is it possible to talk to my attorney?
Your attorney is no longer on the Zoom screen. We'll see if we can get her back in here.
She's still back
here. Oh, Ms. Ward, your attorney, I'm sorry, your client wishes to speak to you?
Yes, that's fine.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8.
Okay.
Ms. Segovia, my understanding from speaking to your attorney in the state is that the motion is going to be withdrawn, and they're going to add some conditions for you. Make sure that you stay on top of any type of mental health issues. I'm sure Mr. Wood will remain in contact with you to make sure that you follow up on everything. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Mr. Wood, is there anything else?
No, I just want to let Ms. Segovia know that she should have my appointment information and that she can call me any opportunity she would like to.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Segovia,
Yes,
I'm going to
ma'am.
have you speak with the probation officer. The probation officer will go over conditions with you. Mr. Wood, you can go into the breakout room with them, or if you do not, you can be excused.
Thank you, Judge. I'll go into the breakout room with them. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to send you out of breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Judge.
And Mr. Gutierrez, just one moment.
Thank you.
Judge, so what do we do with Segovia?
Let me send you to 5.
Okay, I'm like
Because
so lost.
they'll tell you everything that's happening. It's an agreement that's made with Alexander.
Oh, okay, on the side, it
I'll send
wasn't
you-
heard.
No, I'll send you an email right now as well. Yeah.
I thought I was like, where did I?
No. All right. Eddie Bravenek on Paul Torres. You are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Norman, can you let them know L13 can go back? Ron Ross.
Yeah, has David Thatcher completed his paperwork? Do you know? Is he still on Zoom? Is he still there in the courtroom?
Let me see. Deputy, is Mr. Thatcher still in the courtroom?
Well, no, I think he's on Zoom. Virtual courtroom.
I don't see him on Zoom.
He's in a breakout room, Judge.
All right. He is in breakout room number 4.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Okay, can you send me there?
Yes. And Norman, can you let them know that P2 can go back?
Yeah.
Mr. Carrillo, who are you waiting on? This one's-
Ferguson, don't forget me. I'm supposed to go to court number 4, breakout room number 4.
Marcus can send you there.
Can you check? Can someone move Ross to number 4?
Yeah, please.
Ross, you're already assigned to
You're
4.
already assigned,
Right.
yeah.
Huh? No, I'm not. I'm by in the courtroom.
You're assigned to that breakout room, so all you have to do is click on more and hit breakout rooms, and it should say, it'll send you to 4.
Yeah, I'll click on it.
Yep.
There, okay. I got 3.
Yes, just click on it.
3?
I just switched it.
4. Yeah.
Do I go to 3 or 4?
3.
Okay.
Mr. Gutierrez,
Yes, ma'am.
your attorney is waiting for you in breakout room number 8. If you look at the bottom of the boxes,
Okay.
click on that. It should say breakout room.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Maria, if they have the paperwork ready, we'll take up Ron's case and then we're done till 2 o'clock.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, Norma, there was some confusion on Segovia.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying, sorry for the confusion on Segovia.
Oh, it's okay.
I know I sent you information about the denial, but we ended up withdrawing it, so thank you.
The Nile is just a river in Egypt.
David, did Marina talk to you about that murder case?
She did, and I'm still looking at it, but I don't see. I think it was a mistake that they coded it as a co-defendant because I don't think the cases are related at all. And yeah,
Okay.
the murder we have, I mean, the only people that were there were him, the deceased, and the daughter. But I'm
Okay.
double checking to make sure. But yeah, I'll
Okay,
email you.
thank you.
We are ready when the court is, or you wanted me to come back at 1:30?
Let me check. Give me 1 second.
Okay. And I called the clerk. They gave me the credit. I don't mind coming back at 1:30, no problem.
We'll do it.
Did your client sign the paperwork already?
Oh, yes, he
Yes.
he signed it.
All right, are you ready on Mr. Norman?
I am in the quarters. Thank you.
Does anyone know what's going to happen to his new case?
It's going to be dismissed as part of the deal.
All right, everyone, let's proceed. Court is calling 2018 CR 7669W, State of Texas versus Terrell Isaiah Norman. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the state? Marcus, can you stand in? Hunter's Wi-Fi is down.
I can stand in, Judge.
Oh, thank you, Alexandra. All right, for the state?
Alexandra Williamson.
For the defense?
Thomas Hiller.
All right, and are you Mr. Norman?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Norman, you reviewed a document entitled Defendants Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
We find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and states motion to supplement pending motion to revoke probation. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Are you the same Terrell Isaiah Norman who was placed on community supervision and cause number 2018 CR 7669W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Hunter Morris for the state. Condition number 1, on or about the 10th day of March 2020 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Terrell Isaiah Norman committed the offense of possession of a controlled substance in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
State would waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waiver?
No, Your Honor.
Everyone, just give me one moment. Because at one point, the defendant was undeferred, and then I believe his deferred adjudication was revoked and he was placed on community supervision. Is that correct? Is that what you have in your system, Mr. Morris?
Yes, it actually shows that he was revoked and placed on supervision for an underlying term of 5 years, and then it was amended to because it's a state jail felony. But that is what I see.
I'm sorry, counsel. It was amended to what?
It was amended from an underlying of 5 years to 2 years, which is appropriate for a state jail felony.
All right, Mr. Terrell, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a 10,000, sorry, just 1 second. Sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. It would be first to reform the
I'm
judgment.
sorry, counsel.
Just
did
1
you-
second, 1 second. All right, yes.
There is an agreement, Judge. And first, the agreement would be to reform the judgment to an underlying of 6 months. And for this court to approve and revoke supervision in this case and sentence Mr. Norman to 6 months in the state jail facility. And then for this plea, the state is taking into consideration his new cause number 2020 CR 5739.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Norman, can you unmute? Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will follow the plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2020 CR 5739. Mr. Hilly, you're raising your hand?
Oh, apologize. I was sketching my.
Oh, just
I
give
was
me a
just
moment.
sketching. Sorry. Sorry.
Mr. Norman, did you sign a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with that, we will close the record. Mr. Norman, you have decisions to make in your life. Either you want to spend the rest of your life in and out of prison, or either you want to do what's right. From here on out, any decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that may result in me going to prison? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Have a good weekend, Your Honor. Thank you. Maybe excused.
Thank you.
Yes, you're excused.
Thank
Norman,
you.
can you let them know that P3 can go back?
And Judge, I just sent you
Yes,
that
ma'am.
dismissal.
Thank you. And we're going to take our break, everyone, and we'll be back at 2.
See you at 2, Judge.
All right, thank you.